made a hummus. My favorite way to eat broccoli is steamed. Not roasted. Steamed broccoli. You need no seasoning, in my opinion, when it's steamed. Delicious. Favorite way to eat cauliflower? Roasted, or a soup, or cream cauliflower. Cream cauliflower is delicious. Make it the same way you'd make mashed potatoes. This is breakfast. Yukon Gold potatoes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, and cauliflower. Now, my favorite way to eat Yukon Gold potatoes: wrap them in foil and throw them in your campfire outdoors. They're called butter potatoes for a reason. And the only time I've ever found that they tasted like butter, which they do, and they come out this beautiful buttery golden color, is by heating them in the fire. I wrap them in foil, which I know you're not supposed to use foil, and you throw them in a campfire or on a campfire grill. If you're a camper, buy you some butter potatoes and wrap them in foil. No seasoning, nothing. Just leave them in their skin, wash them, and put them in your fire. That's the best way to cook Yukon Gold. Because the flavor here, no comparison to when they're cooked outdoors. And I assume it's because of the high heat. Because I've roasted them, I've baked them in the oven the same way, and I don't find it tastes the same. It has to come to a very high temp. And my favorite way to eat sweet potatoes is, a few ways, but baked in the oven at 425 for at least, excuse me, hold on a second. No ma'am. Lordy. 425 baked in the oven for at least an hour or more than an hour and a half. When they start and bubble, and it makes the sugar's coming out of the sweet potato. It caramelizes, sweetness. A sweet potato not cooked very long does not have the sweetness as one that's cooked a very long time. And I find the oven does a fine job of that. But for some reason, that Yukon Gold potato, maybe if I roasted it at 500 degrees, I don't know. But on the fire outside, when I was camping, I did that, y'all. I did it twice. Delicious. Anyway, eat plants. Me again. And y'all excuse my hair. I developed a cowlick in my old age. I don't know if it's because of the cut. When she cut my hair, she did something, because I don't remember ever having this, but I don't know. And do I care? No. And I wore my beanie this morning when I walked. I had 2 layers of clothing on. I had my fleece tights, and then I had sweatpants over that, and then I have a sleeveless shirt with a sweatshirt and my big fleece coat. Then I had my beanie that has fleece, and then I had the fleet hoodie on also. But anyway, my leftovers that I was just eating, I'm just gonna eat them like this with salsa and my hummus throughout the day. But what you can do is make soup. And if you have a high-speed blender like a Vitamix, which I'm sure most of you do not, because there's no need for it, if you're not eating plants and making sauces and everything else, the Vitamix cooks. If you put it at top speed, it's so fast that it literally cooks the food, and when you take the lid off, it's steaming. So this can be thrown in your Vitamix with a broth and whatever seasonings you want. I just put Mrs. Dash on here, And when I roasted a little olive oil, no ma'am. And what else? This is dash. That's it. And olive oil and a little bit of salt, because I'm trying to do a little salt. Not supposed to be adding salt, but I added some salt. But not as much as I usually add, but which isn't a lot, because I was already a little salt, I found. It's just when I eat the processed foods, I'm going off on a tangent. When I eat processed foods like chips and things like that has salt in it, that's when I get into trouble. And I'm starting to cook my own beans, dried, no ma'am, chickpeas and all that stuff. My Instant Pot cooks all that stuff real well, so I'm starting to cook and then try and get away from buying canned beans. But you don't have to have a Vitamix. You can put it in a blender. You can cook you can put a broth on and a pot on the stove. Throw these vegetables in, let them cook a little while. Put them in a blender, any blender. If you have an immersion blender, you can use that. Make yourself a soup. You can make it as chunky as you want. You blend it as long as you want, if you still want chunks in there. Or use a potato masher and mash it as much as you want. You can add nutritional yeast. You want something cheesy. Veganese, a little teaspoon of veganese elevates soups to the next level. It's almost like, no ma'am. It's almost like you're not getting on the kitchen counter. No. It's almost like using sour cream. To me, it's delicious. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Now let me go wash dishes and clothes.